Well, extraordinary week this week in the Middle East. Joining us now to discuss that escalating conflict and the extraordinary pages, blowing up phones, etc. Attacks against Hezbollah. Former British commander, great friend of the show, Richard Kemp, Colonel Richard Kemp. Richard, great to see you. You're in Washington, I gather. Just tell us, really fascinated by the military side, the complexity of the pager attack. So these pages blew up with Hezbollah. There were pages that only went to Hezbollah operatives. They blew up, killed several, injured many more. Tell us about the military side of this attack from your point of view, Richard.
Yeah, good to be with you. This is a very devastating attack against Hezbollah, and it's probably about the most carefully focused attack you could ever launch against a terrorist organization, because it's targeted on individuals who are members of the Hezbollah terrorist organization. It's incredibly sophisticated work presumably by Israeli intelligence, although they haven't acknowledged that it was them that did it. I think most people assume that it was. And it's not only does it do real damage to Hezbollah, and I'm talking about destroying their communication system to all intents and purposes with both pagers and also walkie-talkies, but also killing probably quite a large number of Hamas operatives, including senior ones, and severely wounding many, many others. Very damaging to Hezbollah, and also deeply humiliating to Hezbollah. Across the Middle East, there has been Hezbollah has been ridiculed on social media and in some mainstream media for failing to have the level of security needed to be weak enough to allow Israel to carry out this operation. So a very, very serious attack against Hezbollah, which could have strategic consequences.
James.
Well, along with that, we've now seen the walkie-talkies exploded, and now they've hit Hamas operatives meeting to talk about what to do. This would seem to be there'd be other benefits as well, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Number one, I imagine that this would be psychologically hugely crippling to Hezbollah and their operatives, who would now be just, completely paranoid because they don't know where the next thing that's going to literally explode on them is. But also, it seems they'd have a huge intelligence trove now on, who is in Hezbollah, who these people are, everybody who went to the hospital. They've got information now on everybody who's now linked at the level where they'd be getting one of these pagers. Could you speak to that a bit?
Yeah, when there's such a massive security breach as this was, any organization that suffers from it immediately wants to carry out investigations to find out who was responsible. Because, of course, if they're still active within the organization, which they probably are, then they could do even more damage. And so it becomes critical, and that in itself is a crippling operation where everyone's under suspicion, or many people are under suspicion. And they don't, as you just said, they don't know which way to turn in terms, can they use their mobile phones? Can they use their electric toothbrushes? Can they use computers? Is there a risk in all of this stuff? So it's very, very psychologically damaging to them.
Rita.